Hi, welcome to today's lesson. This is Wafood TV, and if this is your first time visiting us, this is where we exemplify, simplify, and demystify elementary mathematics for your understanding. Last time we talked about number bases, and we promised you that the topic is closed, and of course, we are introducing a new topic today. Today we'll be talking about geometry, introduction into geometry. I want to promise you that it is going to be a very broad topic and we'll have a lot to do as far as geometry is concerned. But for today, we are going to be focused on the basic concepts because to understand geometry, you must get the basic concepts. So today we'll start with lines, the different types of lines. Next lesson will be on angles. And after that, we are going to look at the different types of shapes. After all this is done, we are going to take one shape at a time to treat it detailedly for your understanding. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define geometry as well as identify the different types of lines. Stay focused and don't blink. The first question we have here is asking what geometry is. So we're going to look at the definition for geometry, then we go into the different types of lines. As we can see here, geometry can be defined as that branch of mathematics which is concerned with the properties and relations of points, surfaces, solids, and higher dimensional analogues. This is the brief definition of geometry. And with this, we are going to dig deep to understand what each aspect really means. So now we're going to start with lines. Here we can see that a line moves infinitely in both directions. And to better understand a line as well, or a line will start from what we call a point. A point is represented by a dot. So for you to draw a line, you start from somewhere. That is the point, the starting point, where you draw your line. And this line, as we've said, moves infinitely in both directions. This is what we can say about the first aspect. Now let's move to the next. Here we have a curved line and here we have a straight line. So we can have a line as curved or straight. In addition to this, we equally have parallel lines. If you look at this, you realize that these are two lines moving side by side. Why are they called parallel lines? It's because they never meet. So this is what we can call parallel lines. Let's move to the next kind of line. Next to parallel lines, we have a vertical line. Let's move to the next. This is a horizontal line. Vertical, horizontal, parallel, straight line, curved line. These are the different aspects of lines. Let's move forward to see other types of lines. Here we have a perpendicular line. What have you noticed about this? A perpendicular line meets at right angle, and you have a right angle formed. We call that a perpendicular line. Let's move to the next. Look at these two carefully. Sometimes we get confused. Let me explain. This is called a ray. An array starts from a point and move infinitely in one direction, whereas a line segment has a finite distance. That is, it starts from a point and ends at a point. So if you look at a ray, it moves infinitely. Meanwhile, a line segment has a finite distance. With this, we can move to the next. In this next line, we can see that one crosses over the other. And where this crossing takes place is where we call an intersection. Take note of all this because we are going to see them in our subsequent lessons. And this is a diagonal line. You can see that it is slanting. These are the different types of lines that we can take note of. As we've said, a line moves infinitely in two directions. And we can have a curved line or we can have a straight line. Then, in addition to that, we can have parallel lines which never meet. We can have vertical line, we can have a horizontal line, a perpendicular line, a ray, a line segment, an intersection, and a diagonal line. All these are key in our subsequent lessons, because we shall be seeing some of these aspects of line appearing again. If you picked up something today, we meet again in our next lesson, which will be on the different types of angles. Until then, thank you for being there.